The little boy sat silently at the edge of the golden-trimmed sofa, his small hands gripping a set of wooden blocks. His lips didn't move. His eyes didn't sparkle. For years, everyone said the same thing: he was born deaf. But that day, everything changed. "Why won't he respond to me?" the father snapped, his voice sharp and impatient as he adjusted his cufflinks. His navy suit shimmered under the grand chandelier. He was a billionaire, used to bending people to his will. But his own son. The boy remained still, unmoved, unreachable. In the corner of the lavish living room, the new maid knelt quietly, polishing silverware. Her uniform was simple, her gloves worn thin, yet her eyes carried a warmth no amount of money could buy. She had only been in the mansion for a week, but something about the boy unsettled her. Because in his silence, she saw something no one else dared to notice. The mansion smelled of expensive cologne and polished oak. Chandeliers threw their golden light across marble floors. It was a world built for beauty, perfection, and control. But beneath that shine, loneliness seeped through every corner. The boy's mother, elegant, with her pearls and flawless smile, avoided her son's gaze. She seemed almost embarrassed by him. Guests would whisper, "Such a shame, a billionaire's heir, and he'll never hear his father's empire." The father would reply with a forced laugh, pretending not to care. But deep down, his pride burned. The maid, however, saw something different. One afternoon, while folding laundry in the boy's room, she noticed him tapping the side of his bed rhythmically with his fingers. Tap, tap, pause, tap tap. At first, she thought nothing of it. But when she accidentally dropped a basket and the thud echoed across the room, she swore she saw his eyes flicker. He heard something. "Impossible," she whispered. Doctors had diagnosed him as profoundly deaf since birth. But her instincts told her otherwise. She decided to test it. The next morning, while his father stormed off to another board meeting, she knelt beside the boy with a soft smile. She placed a pair of colorful toy drums in front of him and gently struck one. The sound vibrated through the air. His head twitched. His lips parted slightly. Her heart pounded. The boy wasn't deaf. He was afraid. But afraid of what? She tried again. This time, she clapped softly behind his head. The boy flinched, but then quickly stiffened, his small body tensing like a soldier caught disobeying orders. It was then she realized, he wasn't silent because he couldn't hear. He was silent because someone had taught him not to respond. Her chest tightened. This wasn't just a medical mystery. It was a secret hidden inside the mansion walls. That evening, the father returned home, his shoes clicking across the marble floor. He found the maid crouched beside his son, holding colorful headphones to the boy's ears. The child's eyes were wide, his lips trembling as he whispered, barely audible, "Mommy. I hear something." The maid froze. The father's face went pale. For the first time, his perfectly composed mask cracked. He rushed forward, his expensive watch glinting in the light. What did you just say?" The boy shrank back. His hands flew to his ears, terrified. The maid stepped in between them. "He can hear, sir. He's always been able to hear. Someone has been keeping him quiet." The father's voice thundered. "Impossible. The doctors." The doctors saw what they were told to see, she interrupted softly, her eyes steady. "But I've been with him. I've tested him. This boy, he's not broken. He's scared." The truth unraveled like shattered glass. Late that night, after arguments and denials, the father finally confronted his wife. Her face hardened, her pearl necklace trembling against her chest. With a bitter laugh, she confessed. She had forced the boy into silence. Not out of cruelty, but control. She couldn't bear the thought of him speaking imperfectly, of embarrassing their perfect image. She trained him through fear, convincing him he was broken, so no one would ever expect him to speak. The father's hands shook. His empire, his fortune, his pride, none of it mattered in that moment. He looked at his son, small and trembling, and for the first time, he saw him not as an heir, but as a child who had been robbed of his voice. The maid stood quietly nearby, her heart heavy but hopeful. "It's not too late," she said gently. "He can learn. He just needs love, and patience. The father dropped to his knees before his son. His expensive suit wrinkled, his cufflinks clattered against the floor. Tears filled his eyes. Son. I'm so sorry. Speak if you want. Or stay silent. But know this, your voice is the most valuable thing in this house. The boy hesitated. Then, with trembling lips, he whispered again, clearer this time, Daddy. The father broke. He pulled the child into his arms, holding him tighter than he'd ever held a deal, a title, or a crown. Weeks passed. The mansion began to change. Laughter returned to its echoing halls. The boy learned to speak, word by word, sound by sound, as the maid guided him with patience. And though the father had once believed his fortune was his greatest treasure, he came to understand a truth far greater: a child's voice, no matter how fragile, is worth more than any empire. Sometimes, the quietest people carry the loudest truths. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to subscribe, and comment below where you're watching from.